Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They flaunt that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, somewhat between who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. There's an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like, oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah.
We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
Yeah, if I see it, I cop it. Running through stores, if I see it, I rock it. Yeah, girl, if you see it, I got it. Run it up more, we need all the profit. 100 racks back up in summer 16. Spent that whole bag on a whole summer dream. Life's complicated, no Avril Lavigne. Copped a new condo to blow off some steam. All these rappers just rapping in triplets. Pushing that product, just got a new shipment. Pushing that roll 50 over the limit. Cushion that blow, I don't get why they with it. We at the top and we throwing the game. All of these peasants will know of my name. All of these blessings, we staying the same. The drip is fluorescent, I'm going insane. Royal genetics all up in my veins. Back me a real one and gave her my name. All of these issues, but no one to blame. Praying that God will just show me the way. Changing the game, got the source code, and I'm off-road, and my horses go skirt. One in the same day, of course, no, we in first, yo, all my niggas we were. Faking the fame, but we all know, cause the source told all you niggas just learn. Talking and saying y'all pseudo, and it's true though, y'all just popping them perks. Taking the stage, got a few shows, let the crew know it's a clout in the dirt. I am the king and it's my throne, y'all are kind though, they keep calling me Zerx.
Be at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
We only got one life, I'ma get that. If you with that, do not sit back and just wish that you had it. Despite all your witchcraft and your riffraff, this is my gift and you wish that you had it. Tonight gonna bump trap, gonna thump that, drums in the back and you know that we have it. Girls like where the one at, need to run back, flee from these niggas, you know that they savage. They acting macho like they Randy Savage. They call me Pablo, the kingpin is at it. I am Apollo, you Rocky, I've had it. Y'all can just follow cause niggas is slacking. I am Jack Sparrow, my verses is cracking. I am the ghost and you rappers is Pac-Man. Out in the coast and I'm getting more blacking. Y'all acting hairy, I'm grabbing the waxing.
Top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lobster and shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I am
Too many people on a bandwagon. Dumb band through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mode change, big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no gains, big stats, mo fame. We back done said big names on stage, big trap, no shame. Going and running that big check, my name, sign that, mo rain. Come back home and just come up, hey, let's be with that drummer, hey. Saw that baddie mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey, come up, hey, let's me with that drama, hey, saw that baddie mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Go to the fucking jail.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 flexing on all you beaches. What's going on, fam? Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. It's January the 26th, and of course, we're making sick gains with the rest of the Swole fam. Drop a comment down below. What are you smashing today? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. We had an awesome Swole Slut Saturday. We had some good juice over the weekend, so make sure you go and check out the Spotify feed and enjoy all the amazing earhole banging that we provide you on the weekend. So fam, thanks for being here. Again, swolenormousx.com to join the fam. We also still have buy one, get one 50% off over on the merch page. Man, we are really sending it for Fuck Your Resolution season. And you guys know that, I don't know, are gyms empty or gyms packed? I know a lot of people are saying they're already kind of empty and maybe people really got their home gym game up this past year. But make sure you go, make sure you're executing, stay focused. If you need programming, master classes, yoga, everything that you need, check it out, swolenormousx.com, and surround yourself with the best people, the best merch, the best programs, the best master classes, all the amazing shit over there at swolenormousx.com. We're crushing it. The Swole fam's crushing it. And I'm proud of all you guys. Let's get into the first post. Speaking of Swole fam, we got this one.
What's in the box?
Look at this merch. Look at that one. Bring back the buildings with the rooms with the padded walls. Got to love it.
He's heating up.
Gotta love it. Look at that. That's some classic merch right there. That is some classic merch. I forget exactly when we released that. This is probably what, 2 years ago, maybe? Maybe 2023, 2020. I don't know if we did that in 2024. That's a classic. That's already an instant classic. And it still applies. It still applies. Bring back the buildings with the rooms with the padded walls. Please, please bring them back. We need them more than ever. So great merch, great flex. Love it. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate you. All right, fam, it's time for that tip. Let's get into it.
Just an inch. Just an inch.
We do have a Swole card
It's cold
today.
outside.
So let's take a look over at Pinkston Churchill. She's got the amazing card, Make SFGs. Make SFGs. And that means make sick fucking gains. And that could possibly be the best advice that I could give you today. So make sick fucking gains. No excuses. Go do so. Go and make gains. Go and make gains. Go now. But bring us with you. First Swole fan post of the day from the app. Leslie says, spending the winter weather storm inside eating plenty of these. And that's a T-bone steak. Thank the Lord I'm not the one having to go outside and tend the grill. Hashtag rate my meal. T-bone for the win. Married to a grill master. Well, I approve. I think we all approve. Get some gorillas there. It's approved.
That's the way. I like it.
Nice. A good start.
Give me all
A
the
good
bacon
start.
and eggs you have.
Off to a great start. Thank you, Leslie, for sponsoring that amazing post. Man, we got a lot of good stuff here. Mark says, rate my meal. It's not pretty, but it's good enough to get the job done. Beef, rice, and mustard sauerkraut I got on sale. I've never heard of mustard sauerkraut unless you're mixing that in. Interesting. All right, good choice. Good choice. Let us know how it was. We have this one from Ryan. Rate my meal. It may look like barf. I feel like we did this one already, but if we did, we'll do it again. But I promise you, it's delicious. Mashed sweet potato and grass-fed finished ground beef, a little butter, salt, and a sprinkle of cheese. Yeah, we did do this. But it still applies. Not bad for a stew with a tight budget. I enjoy how easy it is to make every morning. Very nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So let's move on. We have some, let's see what we got here. We do have some, before we get into some questions, you can start dropping them in the comments. But before we do, fam, without further ado, we got some Rate My Meal. So let's do it. All right. I'm thinking, what's the over-under? I haven't looked through these posts yet. Obviously, we do these all fresh on the fly. That way, I don't see anything first. You guys tell me. What do you think the over-under is on cottage cheese? How many peas do you think people are eating today? Probably a lot. So let's see what we got here.
What's in the box?
First one, Chewy's Wheel and Tire Service. Well, we got a Zooker here, but hey, some Zooks, and we have some steak. So I'll give you some gorillas for that one. All right, Chewy. Chewy is chewing on some zucchini. Nothing wrong with that. Looks like it's cooked well. And we got the steak. Looks like it's, I would call that medium. I don't think it's medium rare, so, little bit, maybe a little bit chewy, eh, Chewy? Nah, I'm just saying. All right, good, steak. Nothing wrong with that. We like it. Jeremiah, we got some taters, some eggs, avocado not from a tube, and some sausage. So fuck yeah, let's go. All right, off to a good start. Jeremiah's eating well. Very nicely done. Justin Faulkner. Let's see what we got here. I don't know what that is. Oh, we got a cute puppers. We got the American flag. All right. Purple cabbage. Interesting flex. Purple onion. Got a favorite color. Garlic, 4 eggs, rotisserie chicken, 1 piece of toast, Greek yogurt, tomato juice. Tomato juice. Tomato juice. What's tomato juice made out of? How do you make tomato juice? You're just drinking tomatoes, or are you putting something in it? Is that V8? Anyway, all right, well, cool. It looks like you're eating good. You're making your own food, but my God, your stomach is... I am not envious. I'm not envious of your intestinal tract right now. Good luck with that. Good luck with the yogurt, the cabbage, onion, and tomato juice. Whoo! This is the thing. Look, there's nothing. Look, I'm not going to be, wow, how could you eat that? How could you eat that? Food quality always matters. You don't want to be eating flavored yogurt. That just, a lot of that is just not good for you. And it's not the same kind of bacterial profile. You're adding sugar. It's a whole different ball game when you get sweetened yogurt. So make your own yogurt, put some fruit in it. Don't get flavored yogurts, in my opinion, in my experience. I wouldn't recommend it. But the combination, I'm always impressed at the combinations and what people's stomachs are actually going to be subjected to. So, maybe it's trained. Maybe your stomach is trained for cabbage, but your poor toilet. The dog's looking at it like, all right, you going to finish all that? You're going to finish all that? Beautiful puppers. My stomach hurts just thinking about it. But it's all good. It's all good. I don't have to eat it, so. All right, Kyle Fair. Cheesy jambalaya. What is a jambalaya? We got more iron guts here. I am very impressed. I'm very impressed at the intestinal fortitude of some of the Swole fam out there. We got some sort of rice. Is that rice pilaf? Like, what is that? What's the orange stuff? I'm assuming it's the seasoning. You got some chicken in there. You got some protein in there, maybe. Maybe some cheese. Obviously, it's cheesy, so there's a lot in there. Good luck with all that. Good luck, Kyle. We wish you the best. And this one, Lisa, my husband took me out to eat. Well, that's nice. I got a wrap with coleslaw and swapped the mac and cheese for green beans as my side. Only ate half. I don't blame you. And took half home. So, all right. Well, that's nice. Took you out to eat. Is there food there? Where's the food? The green beans. Okay. Got some rice. Where's the meat? Where's my meat at? Where's the meat? Where's the meat?
Donnie, you're out of your element.
Where's the meat?
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Where is it? Where is it?
Well,
Lisa,
that's
where's
just
the meat?
Your opinion, man.
Where's the meat? Where is it? Plate of green beans. Where's the meat? Where's the gains? As you know, we're trying to make some sick fucking gains. Thus we have the Swole card. So make sure you get that beef in. Get that beef in. You got chicken? Get that chicken in. Get it in. Get it in deep. There we have the Tainty Man. Aww. Mr. Mustard is over here. What you got, buddy? Hey. Look at that poppers. Look at that poppers. Look at that big old mustard man. Look at the Tainty boy. There he is. He's so cute. He's so cute. Hello, poppers. Everyone say hi to Mr. Mustard. Good boy. All right. Hashtag SFGs. Make SFGs. Where's the beef? Where's the beef, dog? Where's the beef? All right. Let's get into some questions, fam. Drop in the comments. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole. Thanks for being here. We do have new releases that we're going to drop for members in just a few moments. So stay tuned for that. Live questions. Hashtag
What's in the box?
Ask Papa Swole. We'll take this first one from Jason. Looks like it's from Instagram. Papa Swole, do you have any advice on when one gets a bad cold? How does one can take care of self? And any nutrition tips when one's with the flu? You have a cold or do you have the flu? I mean, there's different things there. Vitamin D. Most people this time of year, I was outside with Mama Swolio. It's like 85 degrees today. It's hot, roasting the nips because Florida is getting cold as fuck for our standards. We're getting the cold front that everyone else is dealing with. We had beautiful weather up through today, and then it's going to be getting down to like the 40s and the 30s at night. for the next like week or so. So we're all going to die. So if you don't see me here, I'm going to be wearing sweatshirts. It's going to be cold. The nips are going to be covered. So I know. The nips are going to be gone for a while. So I'm trying to get as much as possible. So the issue is preventing yourself from getting a cold. And usually this is vitamin D deficiency. So bone broth, vitamin D, magnesium, electrolytes, sauna, hydration, proper sleep, all those things. That's my advice. But my advice starts before you get the cold. And usually when people get sick, it's just because your immune system is compromised. And that's because of low vitamin D levels. And this, when you live in northern latitudes, it comes down to your habits during the summer months. And most people don't get enough vitamin D during the summer. And then they translate into the winter and their nutrition is also lacking. And they're not getting enough sun. They're not getting enough exposure, not like red light. Those things can help. But of course, it comes down to the nutrients and vitamin D. So definitely supplement with vitamin D, especially vitamin D and K2, especially in the winter time. But if you're sick, you can always up the dosage, not medical advice, but look into it and do your best. Do your best, but it's not rocket science. It's a vitamin D deficiency most of the time. And most people are low on vitamin D, low on magnesium, and a lot of these other things. So there might be certain tonics and people say, oh, when I drink tea and I put this and I put ashwagandha and I put all these different things in there. Sure, you can experiment with different things and all these different extracts and things like that. But literally vitamin D, magnesium, bone broth, tea, whatever you want to put it in, hydration, rest, recovery. But it starts before you get sick, right? So once you are, definitely want to do these things in order to get on the rebound, but you have to uncompromise your immune system. So stress, lack of sunlight, all these different things are very much factors. And it's not just simply, hey, it's wintertime, so you're low on vitamin D. A lot of people are low on vitamin D even in the summertime because they're not getting enough sun, or they live at northern latitudes and they're not getting enough exposure and things like that also. So if you have any other specific remedies, you could drop that in the comments. But if it's actually like a viral infection, you just need to get your immune system back up on track and give your body and put your body in a situation where it can heal itself, and then it can take care of the virus and the infection. So we wish you the best. Get yourself some steak. Get that steak, baby. Yeah, I would not be taking any over-the-counter stuff. That's for sure. All right. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole if you have a question and you want to get an answer. Daniel says, damn, Rufus is a big boy. Wish I could pet him. I know. Isn't he's such a big boy. So we did a tainty assessment yesterday. We've been looking at him and he's like, was it January 26th, 2025? I think when did we get him? I think we got him in 22, at the end of 22, I think. I forget how old he is, 3 or 4. He's like 3 or 4 years old. And we're looking down at him like he's getting bigger. Is it possible that he's getting bigger? He's 121 pounds, or he's like 120.8. We weighed him yesterday. And to weigh him, I have to like pick him up. And I was like, oh my God. Like it was extra. It was extra because last time we weighed him, he was like 110 or 12. So he's been eating a lot more. He's been hungry and he distributes it well. He's just a big boy. He's like looking extra thick in a good way. So big boy. Mark says, I still remember the Instagram reels of him as a puppy. That did not last long. He was 30 pounds at 3. When we got him, he was 30 pounds and he gained fast, but he's been gaining for a long time. He's still a baby, but man, big baby. And she is not. She's been tiny. We had a little incident over the weekend. She got stung by a bee. So we had to take her because she started Pinkston. I know. Pinkston got stung or she stepped on a bee. And we saw her step on something and she kind of jumped back and she was limping. And I pulled a stinger out of her paw. But then she had her like within half an hour, her nose, like her face was all red. And she started like getting bumps and stuff all over her armpits and started breaking out. So we had to take her and make sure she was okay because she started having a bad reaction to it. So she's all right. We caught it really quick. So we were at the vet right away and got her like antihistamine. We just didn't know exactly what was happening, just to be sure. But her face was like, her nose was all puffed up and her face got really wide and she started getting like red. And then it's a good thing that we went really quickly, because as we were on our way there, she started she started having like some breathing, and she started like that on the way there. So if we waited, because we were like, okay, let's just give her a little Benadryl and see how she goes. But it started ramping up pretty quickly. So she's fine. She's fine. By the time we got back, she was back to normal. So everything's good and she's all right. And it wasn't even her fault. She didn't run away. She didn't run away or anything. Stepped on a bee. When you have a dog that's 5 pounds or 5.5 pounds that steps on a bee, it's like, it can take over. Little dogs are so different because it can get out of control really quickly because they're so small. So anyway, but she's fine. So that was a nice, fun twist to a Saturday. I think that was Saturday. So fortunately we have a good place nearby, and yeah, it was pretty much in and out, but I'm glad we went right away, because yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to hear her have trouble breathing, and all night we've been like freaking out probably. So yeah. Anyone else have that? Yeah, it happens. Small dogs, you got to be careful with stuff like that. You don't want to let that get out of control quick. All right. Chris Armstrong, 2002. Best workouts to do at the gym. Best workouts.
Matt Damon.
There are no best. First off, if you're going to the gym, good. I would say if you don't know what to do, which you don't because you're asking me what the best workouts to do, well, we got that for you. SwoleNormousX.com. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, America.
He's heating up. He's on fire.
Best workouts to do at the gym. Join us, SwoleNormousX.com. Stepped on a bee, Amber Heard. All right, Pearson GTR, Papa Swole. I have a super fast metabolism. Oh, do you? And don't know how to bulk if I can't gain weight. You can gain weight. You can. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but you're not eating enough. You're not training properly, all the above. So it's totally possible for you to gain. You just have to do it diligently. You have to be eating properly, training properly, and doing it every single day, eating tactically, literally the same amount and the right amount every day, training, getting your body to build muscle. Remember, we talk about this all the time. When you are building muscle, your body doesn't want to build muscle. Your body doesn't want to utilize fat. It will do whatever it needs to survive. Your body doesn't even know what resistance training is. It will just resist whatever you're doing to it. So, hey, I'm pushing this. Oh, that's heavy. Oh my God, we got to get stronger to handle that. You do it again the next day. Oh my God, we got to get, it's heavier today. Oh my God, it's heavier again. And it keeps on trying to adapt if you put your body in an environment where it has to adapt to that situation. So think about it. If you're sitting on a couch, what does your body have to do? It has to adapt to sitting on a couch. It doesn't have to do anything. So it just reacts. And like, oh, I'm eating this extra energy. Cool. Put it over here. Oh, let's put it around the gut. Oh, let's put it around the tits. Oh, let's put it around their fat ass. But if you are training, if you're in an environment that's made of steel and iron and steak, your body is going to adapt to an environment of steak and iron. It's going to make some sick fucking gains. So you don't know how to bulk because, one, you probably don't know what you're doing. You just say you have a super fast metabolism. You're just not doing it right. And some people might have to eat more than others. If you're 6'3", you're going to have to eat more in order to put on muscle than someone who is 5'2". Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Dr. Daniel on Roomblay. Let's see what we got here. More questions. Drop in the chat. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We'll take as many as come in. What's your best exercises for forearm work and how many sets and frequency? Forearms are something that need more frequency, in my opinion. So 2 to 4 times a week. If you train every other day, you can definitely do coats of paint. The volume is going to depend. But it's really important to understand which muscles are going to get the most from a hypertrophy standpoint. I like, the wrist flexion. So I do that with a cable, 2 arm or 1 arm. I do a lot of pronation work. So a good piece of advice is to do what like arm wrestlers do. You do a lot of pronation. Make sure you're doing pronation for sure. A lot of people get supination when they're doing supinating bicep curls. If you do those, you don't necessarily need to work supination as much, but pronation is usually very undertrained. Radial flexion, ulnar flexion. So doing the radial and ulnar deviations are very important. Rice bucket is excellent. But a lot of what people don't understand when it comes to the forearms, if you want size, is the brachioradialis. So hammer curls are great. Reverse curls are great. And you could do them on a preacher. You could do them on cables. You could do them with dumbbells. But hammer curls or reverse curls. And then, of course, you're working in all these other things. You could do different things on different days. But for me, in my experience, you want to do more coats of paint. So when it comes to extensors, like opening the fingers or doing wrist extension, that's usually underworked. And it's very hard to overdo that because you're gripping things even when you're not training. You're always gripping stuff. Even if you use wraps, you're just gripping things around the house. You're gripping weights. You're gripping. So opening up those fingers, using the rice bucket, doing wrist extensions, those are usually undertrained. And if you have elbow pain and you have fatigue and you have weakness in your elbows and your wrists, it's usually because you're not doing enough extension. So it's harder to overdo extension. So I would recommend most people focus on that, opening up your fingers, doing pronation, doing, wrist extensions. Very important to focus on that to balance out the joints. And the frequency and the volume is going to depend on what works best for you with your training split. So I also like doing forearms before leg day. So if you do upper lower, whether it's 2 days in a row or every other day, you also don't have to you can prioritize body parts. So even if you're doing chest or back, you could do biceps first on a pull day. You could do triceps first on a push day. Remember, whatever you train first is what the priority is going to be. So if you're doing, let's say, pec flies, you're not going to be using your triceps in the same manner. And if you're doing a chest press, you're working your triceps, but that's not the goal when you're doing a press. So you don't have to do a press first. You can do triceps or biceps before chest. You could do triceps or biceps before back. You could do elbow flexors. You could do forearms or curls or arms. You could do a torso arm split where you do chest and back and shoulders on one day, and then you do arms and legs on the other day. You could do 2 sets of bicep curls, 2 sets of extensions, and then get into your leg workout. So it really depends. But frequency for me is more important. Calves can handle more frequency. They don't need it. Remember, certain muscles that can recover faster doesn't mean that you need to train them more frequently. But some muscles can handle more frequently. Does that make sense? So just because a muscle can handle more frequency doesn't mean you like it. So I was doing calves every other day, and I was doing them heavy, and I was doing 1 set super heavy every other day, and I liked it, but I've pulled back and I enjoy doing maybe a little bit more volume, and I do it 2 to 3 times a week, and I'll do 2 or 3 sets like twice a week. So usually anywhere between, I would say 4 to 8 sets a week for a body part. And just because a body part can handle more frequency doesn't mean that you're going to like it, or doesn't mean it's going to work out with your split. It just means it can maybe handle a little bit more volume and recover a little bit faster. So then you could adjust. And glutes are one of those body parts. Forearms are one of those body parts. In my experience, calves are one of those body parts that can handle a little more frequency and that recover faster. And sometimes smaller body parts can recover faster, but doesn't mean just because it can recover faster doesn't mean that you want to train it more often. So it depends. It depends. But remember, the intensity and the volume is going to determine the frequency. So if you're doing 10 sets for something on Monday, you're not going to be training that on Wednesday properly because you're not going to recover no matter what it is. So that's going to matter. So you could either do, maybe for forearms, you do, let's say 2 sets of reverse curls on Monday. You do 2 sets of reverse curls on Wednesday or Thursday. That's probably going to be fine for you. But if you're doing 1 set every other day, you have to understand also cumulative fatigue. And we talk about this a lot with any body part. So if you are doing a workout on Monday and then you're doing, let's say every other day, right? You're doing upper lower, just for argument's sake, every other day, train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, right? If you're doing a lot of volume on those days, you might be fine for the first week. Let's say you pick certain exercises, certain sets, you're doing 8 or 10 sets every other day. Cool. It's great for week 1. Maybe it's great for week 2. Maybe it's even great on week 3. And then you start feeling like, and then it starts kind of like petering off. You're not seeing the progress. It's not always day to day. There's also that cumulative fatigue where over time, the edges start to get worn. It's kind of like the erosion of a rock. So you have Waves hit the rock, not a big deal. Waves hit the rock again, not a big deal. But over the course of like years and decades and, hundreds of years and thousands and millions, of course, you get it worn down and then it's smooth and it's sand and all that kind of stuff. So think about that in terms of your training. Just because you might be recovered for Wednesday's workout and then you're okay on Friday doesn't mean that in 2 weeks, the pattern and the volume and the intensity that you have isn't going to start making you feel tired. And this is why people change things too dramatically. It's working now and then it stops working as well. Oh my God, everything's off. I have to change everything. Not really. You had good programming, but you didn't take into account the long-term wearing down, which means that if you are wearing down, and we've talked about this, I think it was Melissa, but we've talked about this in previous roundtables. This was a while ago. This was last year sometime. We had a couple sessions or a couple roundtables in a row that we talked about the same topic. And I was saying to her, I'm pretty sure it was Melissa, to pull back and to leave like a rep in the tank. So it's not that you always have to change your programming. You don't have to change the amount of volume that you're doing. You don't have to change the amount of sets you're doing. Maybe just for a couple weeks or for a few sessions, you just, okay, I might have one more. You leave it in the tank. You don't do like the 50-50 rep, like I'm not sure if I can get it, and you fail. You leave a rep or two off at the end, and then all of a sudden your energy comes back, you feel good, and you start making progress again. Because you kind of took off that little extra, you dulled the blade a little bit, and you kind of, or maybe you refined it, however you want to phrase it, and you just kind of pulled back slightly. You didn't change the intensity. You didn't change like the weight necessarily. You didn't change your form. You didn't change anything, but you left a little bit left. In other words, you didn't dig as much of a ditch in terms of your fatigue, and you were able to recover faster, and then all your workouts cumulatively start getting better again, even without changing anything. So you have to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So sometimes, and this is what I always talk about when it comes to, let's say, push-pull legs or doing 3 on and 1 off. I'll do that sometimes. I'll do, hey, I don't have a lot of time. I don't feel like doing uprights. I feel like doing a push workout. Cool. But then I got to do a pull workout, and then I'm going to do a leg workout. So if I'm doing a couple workouts in a row, I will keep that in mind. Hey, I'm doing 3 days in a row. I want to make sure that the 3 days in a row, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then taking a day off, I want to make sure that that Thursday workout and that Friday workout or that Saturday workout doesn't get fucked up because of the 3 days I did in a row. Because those 3 workouts might have been great, but then I'm more fatigued because I train more frequently. It can wear off. So you have to adjust the volume and be mindful that just because you're doing less body parts doesn't mean you do more volume, because then you kind of defeats the purpose of what you were doing. And it does get very, quote, scientific, because you don't need a triple blind study. You just need to pay attention to what you're doing and what works best for you and your programming and your flow. And the more consistent you are and the more disciplined you are and the more regular you are with what you're doing, you can literally look at specific components of your training and make those tweaks. But if you're doing random shit all the time, you're like, hey, I'm not making progress. What do I do? And it's like, I have no idea. Because if you're doing random shit, there's no pattern that I can see. And when it comes to programming, and I'm very good at this, and most of you get better and better at this, is pattern recognition. Seeing the patterns, seeing the flow, seeing the direction, and seeing all the pieces moving. Hey, and you tweak a couple things here, and then you observe. And it takes patience. But if you're changing 10 things, you don't know which thing works. All right, I changed the exercise. I changed the order. I'm doing all new exercise. I'm doing a whole new split. I'm doing a whole new rep scheme. Well, you're not going to know what works for months. You have to really stick with that for a while. And if you're seeing progress already and then it kind of peters off, it's obviously not necessarily what you're doing is wrong, because you were seeing progress. Well, why was I seeing progress for a bit and then it stopped? Is it the workouts? Is it the intensity? Or is it the amount that I was doing? Was it the stress from work? Was it the stress from family? Was it the stress from lack of sleep or whatever it is? So it's not always the programming. It could be something else that's associated, because you have one body. If you're psychologically stressed or you're not getting sleep or you haven't been eating well, that's going to negatively affect your training. It's not the programming necessarily. It's all the supporting aspects of your life. Zapalka 2000. Papa Soy, what's your opinion on SARMs and peptides? Well, they're different things. I'm not an expert on those. I have not dabbled. So right off the bat, I haven't fucked with any of these things. I've heard some good things about peptides. There's a lot of them, but I still haven't done anything like that on myself. If you have taken certain peptides, you could drop that in the chat. I think there's a lot of awesome things that are going to be coming out still relatively new in terms of popularity and availability, but I haven't done anything. I've heard good things for like recovery for like BPC 157 and TB 500 and things like that, but I have not taken it personally, but I'm open to it. And I've heard some good things. My opinion is that I'm sure there's positives. It's always risk. There's positives, there's negatives, and there's probably a lot of downsides or negatives that we haven't figured out yet. Now that a lot more people are taking these things and varying amounts, we're going to find out some of the side effects over time. But there's always pros and cons. There's always a trade-off. I'm not sure what the negatives exactly could be, but of course, like anything else, there's always a risk. There's always a risk. So it really comes down to anything else. What's the risk that you're willing to tolerate? Whether it's investing, whether it's your programming, whether it's, if you go, right? I mean, a lot of you probably watched or you saw, the Alex Honnold, he climbed a skyscraper, which in my opinion, I know it's like, wow, he climbed this. Dude, this guy free climbed the side of a fucking rock face. I mean, that building with obvious arm holds and stuff, I really don't think that was any risk for him. That's why Netflix did it. It's like, when you're climbing the side of a rock, there's a lot more risk than a building that has reinforced and obvious grip holds and things like that. So I don't think it was actually as risky as people made it out to be, just because this guy is a beast, which is why they were willing to put it on TV and didn't think that he was going to fall to his death because he's so impressive. I forget where I was going with that, but I forget what I was saying. I forget where I was going with that, but anyway, that was cool. I forgot the whole point I was making, but anyway, SARMs and peptides. Oh, the risk, right? The risk. So you have to weigh the activity, right? If you're going to climb the side of a building without any straps and stuff like that, yeah, there's a risk. The risk reward. The risk for him was actually much lower. Like if I did it, the risk is extremely high. I wasn't going to survive that. But for him, the risk was actually much, much lower because of what an elite athlete he is. So you always have to weigh out the pros and cons and the risk benefit. Mac of the North, Papa Swole, do you find that legs respond better to volume and upper body responds better to intensity? No. Good question. Good question. Round of applause for a good question. Good question. No, I don't think. I think that's a myth. I think every body part pretty much responds to progressive overload the same way that any other body part does. So everything, legs, intensity is always how you're going to build muscle. If you don't have intensity for legs, you're not going to build muscle in your legs. So intensity for both. You can't be training legs not intensely. And that means proximity to failure. So I definitely do not find a lot of people might think that or do that, which is why they don't have quality leg growth. And that's because it hurts and you have to walk on them. And it's challenging to push yourself to failure with leg workouts. But no, actually, in terms of legs too, certain body parts like the quads, in my opinion, it's harder to train twice a week. You have to be much more mindful, or I do, for quads. They don't recover for me as fast as other body parts. So I could train glutes harder and twice a week, no problem for glutes. Quads, I have to be mindful of what exercise I choose for quads. I can't do hack squats twice a week. So either one of my quad workouts will have to be just like leg extensions or sissy squats or a leg press. And then the other one can be a hack squat. And usually what I'll do for legs, because I train twice a week for legs, I do every body part at least twice a week. One workout will be more quad focused in general, and one will be a little bit more glute or hamstring focused. So I'm not going to be doing heavy stiff leg deadlifts or something twice a week. I'm not doing hack squat heavy twice a week. I usually won't even do, I could, and I have done things like a leg press twice in a week if I feel like that. So you have to figure out which body parts can handle more frequency. And that really depends on the individual. But in general, people are more similar than different. So it really depends on your overall split, what you're prioritizing. And you might find that certain exercise is going to take a little bit more out of you. And then for those, you might want to use them more sparingly. So exercise selection makes a big difference. And if you're using taxing exercise all the time, this comes down to program design. So if you're choosing exercise that are very exhausting, that's going to build up cumulative fatigue, or that's going to take longer to recover. So there's certain exercises that are going to take you longer to recover from. So for those, maybe leave a rep in the tank. Maybe you don't do 4 sets of that. Maybe you only do 2, or maybe you do that once a week instead of twice a week. You do it every other leg workout. So some exercise you might do every leg day, and some exercise you might do every other leg day or every 2 leg days. And that's totally fine. As long as you're hitting those body parts over the course of, you could do leg extensions 1 leg day and then hack squats another leg day. And then you're getting all the aspects of your quad, and it doesn't have to be every single workout. It could be every other workout you do a different exercise. So you're covering all your bases. You're hitting every body part of your legs, each leg session, but you're not doing the same stressful overload. And we've talked about that many times. Leg extensions are nowhere near as fatiguing as a hack squat, a leg press, or Bulgarian split squats and things like that, for example. So if you choose to do those exercises, maybe you're able to do them for consecutive leg days for a few days in a row. But you'll know if you try to do Bulgarian split squats twice a week, long term, how long is that going to last? How many consecutive leg days twice a week can you do Bulgarian split squats really hard and not just start to like hit a wall? And that's my point. Okay. Let's see. Daniel, thanks, Papa. Always answering my questions. I just switched to upper lower thanks to you. Cool. Enjoy it. Are you doing every other day? Are you doing upper lower rest? What's your upper lower split? And upper lower splits are great. I think they're probably the most dynamic because you can do 2 days on, 1 day off. You can do upper lower rest, and keep on doing that. You could do upper lower rest, rest. You could do upper rest, lower rest, upper rest, lower rest. You can kind of manipulate it and adjust it. And what I like about that is sometimes I can do push pull legs, and then right after I can do push pull legs and then take a day off and then go upper lower. And I do that all the time. Sometimes I just feel like doing push pull legs. And then, but it's easy to go break it down to 3 days and then go back to 2, or do an upper and then 2 low. You can kind of chop it up different ways. And the split doesn't really matter as much as the frequency. So if you're choosing the same exercises, you're doing the same kind of rep scheme and volume and everything's the same, breaking it up into a couple smaller days with everything else being the same, it's not going to be different. It's really the frequency, the intensity, and the volume. And then the split can just kind of like subtly tweak based on your needs. So if you have a schedule that changes or desires that change, you can always pivot those things. John, as you have advised, hashtag make SFGs in the comments for a chance to win today's Swole card. As you've advised, pausing at the bottom for calf work has earned significant growth. Thanks, Papa. You're welcome. And I've done different things for calves. I've done periods where each rep I've held for 5 seconds at the bottom because calves get stretch-mediated hypertrophy. So holding the stretch for like 5 seconds, driving to get to at least neutral, really increasing the load. That's been really good. If you do the 5-second holds over the long term, sometimes people, if you're not doing anterior tib work and ankle mobility, you might get some like, it feels like heel pain, but it's really Achilles tendonitis. You might get a little bit of like irritation in the calves if you're really exaggerating the stretch and not recovering enough. But what you can also do is just focus on the stretch portion. If you don't want to do long holds, you can try different things. And I really like this style too, where you do the stretch and you drive up and you try to get it to at least neutral, because the calves are going to have the most leverage from the stretch to the ankle neutral position. Anything higher than that, you start getting other less leverage for the calves, and you start getting other muscles in the foot and stuff involved when you're trying to go up on your tippy toes. So the calves are going to be active from the stretch to the ankle neutral, mostly the most leverage. So what you can do is go down and get the hold. You don't want to bounce at the bottom. You get the stretch, but then you drive up as high as possible. But then at the end, when you can't get to ankle neutral, instead of doing long holds, you just keep on trying to get as high as you can. And you do quarter reps and half reps and, even micro reps, as long as you can move the weight like a centimeter. Just keep on going, and then you can't get any more, and then drop the weight. So you're still stretching, you're still getting concentric action in that stretch portion, just really focusing on the stretch and trying to get as much of a rep as you can. That's also a really good strategy too. So you could try different things. Single leg, 2 leg, as long as you're focusing on mostly calves, training your calves with your knees straight. You don't really have to do the seated calf raises because you're not getting the gastroc, and the soleus will be hit the same, if not more, from doing a straight knee calf raise. So straight knee is all you need, really. If you really like doing knee bent, that's fine. You're just not getting the same activation. So it's not necessary. Not necessary, but some people like it because they like it. Nothing wrong with it. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? Is that it for the questions on Instagram? Anything else? Live questions. Scrolling. Not seeing it. All right. By the way, before we move on, fam, buy one, get one 50% off merch over there at papaswolio.com. And we're going to get into some new releases, but I want to remind you, I know a lot of you don't know this, but if you go to the top, look at that right under home. You see that word right there? You see that word? Look at this. It says tapestries. What I want you to do is click on tapestries and look at that. Look at that.
This is a castle, isn't it? There are tapestries.
We have many tapestries.
We have many tapestries, and it's really important to understand, and I think people don't really get it yet. I think a lot of people listening to the show right now don't really understand how many tapestries we have. I'm not joking about the tapestries. When I say we have tapestries, I mean we have some fucking tapestries. Look at these things. Look at these. If you have a house and you want to turn your house or your apartment into an absolute castle, get yourself some tapestries. Head on over to papaswolio.com and pick up one of these amazing tapestries. We're adding more designs to the tapestry arsenal every single day. And it's buy one, get one 50% off. So you might not have room for a flag. You maybe want to hang it somewhere else. We got the tapestry for you. papaswolio.com. No shame in our tapestry game. Let's fucking go.
I give it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Only the best for the Swole fam. Only the best for you beaches. Right? All right. Balls deep time. Let's get some releases too in there.
That's deep.
All right. I didn't bring these up earlier. We do have some videos. So let's see. Pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Drop that in the chat. Let me get these release pictures up. Before we do, let's do the featured classes and the recipes first. So we'll do that first. SwoleNormusX.com. Join the fam to get access. We got the app ready for you. While you guys pick it, we have some awesome stuff. This one is, you know how I am with stuffing things. You don't really have to. You don't got to stuff things. Keep it simple. But egg stuffed sweet potato. We got some avocado. We have some beautiful eggs, some sweet potato. That, hi, puppy. I think we're all stoked about this one. That looks pretty cool. So if you're going to do like a little sweet potato boat, you can really make it pop. Egg stuffed sweet potatoes. And you know what that's missing. Put a little bacon on that. Chef's kiss. Just put a little, you could have that. Think about this. Ready? You cook the bacon. You ready for this? Cook the bacon and make it a little bit more crispy, not like singed to the point where it's like broken, but it kind of makes it like a little bit like a dipper. You break it up into like little pieces, kind of like chips, and you scoop it in the sweet potato. You mash up the sweet potato, right? And you have the egg and the bacon. Come on, fam. Come on. Tell me that wouldn't be an absolute banger. Get in my fucking mouth. Get in my mouth, right? Dead on.
Every word of it was absolutely true.
Get yourself some egg stuffed sweet potato. Get it. Get it now. Looks good. Put that in your mouth. Yeah, put that in your face hole. All right, we got some featured classes inside the app. This week, we are featuring Morning Flow 6 Express class with Genevieve. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Morning Flow number 6. We have morning flow. We have evening flows. I mean, I'm not even going to go through the list of what we have. We have a lot. We have a lot of stuff. I think we're coming up on 500 classes. So it's crazy. I mean, eventually I'm just going to start saying we're coming up on 600. It's just we have more every single week. And there's so much in there. So many gems. So make sure you try the class. If you never tried this one, we like to feature them that way. Because there's so many, if you don't search for it or scroll through, need to make sure that you are exposed to some of these classes that maybe you're not aware of. So Morning Flow number 6. And the cool thing about all these things is it's an express class, 30 to 40 minutes. And if you like Morning Flow 6, I think there might be, if I'm not mistaken, there's some classes where we have like 10 or 11 different ones, but you know for sure Morning Flow number 6 is preceded by 1 through 5. So we have at least 5 other Morning Flow classes that are expressed just like this. So if you like this one, oh shit, I never tried this one before. Try it. Oh, this is great. Go try Morning Flow number 1. Go try number 2. Go try number 3. So it just gives you some insights as to what else we got. Speaking of that, Swollen 7 Steel Club round 4. Let's go. Get your steel clubs out, baby. One thing that I like to do when it's getting cooler outside, because it's going to get cold, I like swinging. I like swinging clubs. When it's cool, Really great. Go out in the sun when it's a little bit chilly. Start swinging the club. You warm up real quick. So get those steel clubs out. Get those steel clubs out. And our feature workout of the week is Lower Foundation 1, straight out of Swole Mastering. Based.
I am the danger. We choose truth over facts.
Based. Oh, man. I can't wait till we get into the merch. You guys are going to love it. It's going to shut some of you fuckers up. Got some good merch. Coming. Some of you are going to be very pleased. All right, do we pick some numbers? Let's go with Elizabeth. Elizabeth in the Telegram chat says number 1. This one's called Founding Fathers.
What's in the box?
Oh, boy. You know it's going to be good.
When the Founding Fathers made this great country, I'm going to better decision.
Hold on. Okay. The audio always gets me. I always say I want the audio higher because sometimes it's muted and it's really... The only thing worse than audio that's too loud is too quiet. I'm not doing the quiet audio stuff. So I have to lower it a little bit. So I'm going to pause it. Take a deep breath. Let's do it again.
When the Founding Fathers made this great country.
I will say I made the volume lower and it doesn't seem like... I put the volume at 60% and it's still blowing out my ear holes. So...
When the Founding Fathers made this great country,
it's not getting better.
Stop you right there. The Founding Fathers owned slaves. The Founding Fathers had less access to education than a modern-day 12-year-old.
Yeah, and there were okay. You can tell when someone has never read the founding documents. You've never read anything. Never read the Federalist Papers. Never read the Constitution. Never read the Bill of Rights. Yeah, they had less education. Have any of you ever read the shit? It's brilliant. It's amazing. No one has that level of education nowadays. Like next to no one. They were fucking brilliant. This is the biggest fucking lie ever. Don't ever don't believe a moment of this. That's the most insane garbage. Go talk to a 12-year-old today. They're retarded. Why? Because they go through the indoctrination system. They're taught by liberal retards. Okay, the Founding Fathers were fucking brilliant.
Made this great country. I'm going to stop you right there. The Founding Fathers owned slaves. The Founding Fathers had less access to education than a modern-day 12-year-old.
Then why are they so much smarter?
They don't know anything.
They don't know anything. I'm not going to spend time. I'm not going to. I don't have to go prove this. Just go read anything. So I can't. Let's go.
Care what they wanted. I don't care what they think. It's unconstitutional. I should hope so. The Constitution was written by people who didn't think women should vote.
Still don't. They were based. We're seeing now the consequences of, and it's not really, look, and let's be honest, because the swole sluts here, it's not women voting. That's not really the problem, right? The problem is retards voting. Okay. So when we hear say like repeal the 19th, it's not like there are a lot of based women. We have most of them here. Okay. So it's more of like a hyperbolic statement, but overwhelmingly it wouldn't be a bad idea because the white liberal women in this country are the problem. Literally the problem. Have you, and you know this if you look at any woman's phone, if you go on any female's Facebook or Instagram, it's a completely different experience. They're getting absolutely blasted by the most ridiculous propaganda. It's the same thing with any kind of marketing. Most women are just more susceptible to the kind of mob mentality. They're more susceptible to the emotional manipulation. And we know this. Just overwhelmingly. It's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, they definitely had a reason for that. And we're seeing that now. So Founding Fathers based again.
The Constitution was written by people who had 15-year-old wives dying in childbirth frequently. The Constitution was written by people who had little cartoon Elmer Fudd shotguns, not automatic war machines capable of ripping down 100 children in a minute. And
none of these are automatic. Again, you have people that don't know anything about guns. Do any of you have automatic? You can't buy them. I guess you can modify them illegally. Anyone else have an automatic? No one does. No one. Okay. Let's continue.
And will again. The whole point is to change. The whole point is to progressively make better decisions.
That's not the point. The whole point is to not. Progressive is not the right term. So the grift with progressivism is that change is good for the sake of change. But it's just like Chesterton's fence. So you have these people that come across an old document. Oh my God, someone in the past had slaves. By the way, there's more slavery today than there was in the 1600s. So you have this idea that, hey, something that happened a long time ago is bad because I don't understand it. So you remove it, you get rid of it, you burn the document down, and then society collapses. Oh shit, that was actually there for a reason. Oh, I shouldn't have torn down that fence. I didn't realize that fence was to keep the evil out. I didn't realize that the Constitution was there to prevent these fucking lunatics from ever getting power. That's why the Constitution has a lot of checks and balances, and that's why it's very, very specific with the wording that's being used. So, your revisionist history doesn't matter.
So we do not repeat the atrocities of our ancestors. If I was born at any other time in American history, I would have been burned at the stake or lobotomized.
Why? Why would you have been burned at the stake? I mean, I agree. If you were in Salem and you were ranting like this, yeah, you probably would have been burned at the stake. You're like, oh, this bitch is fucking crazy. She's a witch. She's a witch. Or lobotomized. I mean, I agree. I mean, no complaints here. I think you probably should be lobotomized considering what I'm hearing.
And we think the people doing that are the ones who know what should be going on today? We don't want to listen to the people who cured tuberculosis or decided, hey, maybe we shouldn't put lead in house paint.
Napoleon would like a word.
You are actively repeating the atrocities of your ancestors. You're doing it on purpose.
No.
I don't care about the founding fathers.
What gave it away? Okay. IQ has left the building.
What you just said
apparently very nice.
Is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard.
I like that.
At
That's
no
a shirt.
point
That's a
in
shirt.
your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
That's a shirt, Elizabeth.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Making that shirt. Make lobotomies great again. Doing it. We have make asylums great again. I'm going make lobotomies great again. So, new shirt coming ASAP. We'll have that up now. All right. Great. That was horrifying. Let's oh my God, an older I just moved the file over. It says an older item named Founding Fathers already exists in this location. Do you want to replace it with the newer one you're moving? Yeah, keep them both. Keep both those fucking retarded videos. We actually have a design for BioTwat. We have the BioTwat design, but it just says BioTwat. We need to have like some kind of, how about this? Let's crowdsource this. Let's Swole source it. We have a design for BioTwat, but it just says, we have a design and it says BioTwat, but that's not enough, right? Embrace your BioTwat. Like, make BioTwats great again. I'm a big fan, but it has to be the right shirt. So that should be its own brand. I'll make a clothing line, just call it BioTwat. That's for women only. Anyway, any other thoughts? Let's see what we got here. Ooh, oh boy. Oh, this is an old one. That's an old funny one, but we'll watch that. I think we played this on the show again. Let's do this one. This one's called Sleeping with Trans. Sleeping with Trans.
What's in the box?
Damn.
Oh, you're gay now. Okay, this is the number one question I've gotten since I started dating my girlfriend who happens to be trans.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Happens to be? Just happens to have a cock. Okay.
One question I've gotten since I started dating my girlfriend who happens to be trans. I'm straight. I am attracted to women, and Eden is undeniably a woman.
Machine Gay Kelly. All right, let's go.
Her being trans does not make me gay.
Looks like the bus station in Total Recall.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
Oh, you're gay now. My girlfriend who happens to be trans. I'm straight. I am attracted to women, and Eden is undeniably a woman. Her being trans does not make me gay. She is hot as fuck. If I wanted to be with a man, I'd go be with a man, not Eden. And I think it's just that simple.
I didn't like him anyway. He wasn't right in the hat.
Because of the implication.
Your thoughts? Your thoughts? Anyone? All right. Well, we have merch for you. We got merch. Who's ready? We got new yoga, fam. If you are ready,
What's in the box?
we got new merch for the Swole fam. I mean, new yoga. Based. Where's my air horn? Sweet. All right. Available now for members. Brand new class. Speaking of new yoga and having so much yoga, you don't even know what to do with it. Twists number 5. Express class with Alex. So get your twists in order. And again, brand new class. Never before done. So you've never done this one. Do it now. Twist number 5. You're going to love. Yoga number 4, twist number 4, 3, 2, 1. We have all those other ones because it's twist number 5. Twist number 5. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right. And Alex is a woman. She has a bio twat. So just thought I'd educate while we're going through merch. You know? Yano. Okay. Well, we got merch. We got merch. But this one, we got another video first, and then we'll do the actual merch. This one's called They Will Come. They Will Come for MAGA.
What's in the box?
They will come for MAGA.
It's going to really suck for the red hats when the shoe is on the other foot and people start going.
I do have a red hat. GTTFG. Go get it. papaswolio.com. Shameless plug. Let's do it.
It's going to really suck for the red hats when the shoe is on the other foot and people start going door to door asking if they voted for Trump in the last round.
Oh, we already did that. We already did that for fucking 10 years. So tip of the iceberg. Anyone else? We've already had people gotten arrested. People have already gotten fired. We already went through, the experimental gene therapy, getting fired for, not taking an experimental drug, being forced, lose your job, lose your health insurance, lose your, your medical certifications. Like it's already been there. It's already been done. What do you do? How do you cancel people that don't care anymore? How do you cancel people that have their own, parallel economy? How do you cancel people that have already done everything they need to do to reinforce being canceled? Do you guys remember Rumble 10 years ago? No, you don't. Rumble's huge. And people underestimate how big that is. I know it's not like YouTube and it's maybe, all the infrastructure, but you guys know we stream on Rumble primarily. It's 1,000 times better than it was a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's getting better all the time. So just saying that, but we've already done that. My channels are already shut down. I've already been restricted. I get jack shit on TikTok and YouTube, and we've already been through that. Many people much, much, much worse than my situation. So people have already been debanked. They've already lost their jobs. They've already been shunned and ostracized. So you don't care anymore. Already made all those adjustments and those, arrangements. So yeah, We've already been there. This has been happening. So the whole idea is like, they're going to come for MAGA next. They don't know what's happening. No, you've already been shot Trump in the face, killed Charlie Kirk. How many other Trump supporters have gotten shot and murdered? No one bats an eye, but you have a drug addict, George Floyd, and everyone riots. You have this guy who, and again, we have the issue with the shooting, the ICE, shooting. And I don't think anyone knows all the facts yet. And yeah, it might not have been a good shooting, but if you do not go, regardless, I posted a little bit about this on X, and I think people don't understand that, being a responsible gun owner is what the Second Amendment's all about. It doesn't mean that just because you have a certification and you have a concealed carry, doesn't mean you just carry it wherever you want and you get involved with anything and it just absolves you of any responsibility or cause and effect. So regardless of whether or not he was there, all I know is that there's a SWAT team going in, or there's an active law enforcement operation, or if ICE is getting rid of criminals, I'm not going there. I'm a legal carrier. I have a concealed carry and I carry all the time. I'm not going to a conflict. I'm not going to a war zone. Oh, well, there was no stress. He was just standing there. He was in the middle of it, in the middle of the fucking road. And I'm not saying he should have died, but why are you there? Why are you getting involved? Why are you up in everyone's face? Stay out of it. Why are you there recording? Get out of it. Why are you there? And the point is, if you know anything about chemistry, what do? How many of you have taken a chemistry class? Okay. How many of you have, and I'm not getting into the whole signal chats and how it's all orchestrated and everyone is literally there. They're taught, there's manuals, all the breakdown of how to interfere with ICE. All that is there. All that's out there, all the manuals. This is very, very well organized. That's why everyone is in certain spots at certain times and everyone has all the signs and all the whistles and all the medics and all the stuff. Like, they're making this a war zone because that's what the left wants. It's always about the revolution. It doesn't matter what happens. They're going to find some other cause in order to riot. That's the whole point, is to sow distress. So this is just playbook. This is how it's always happened. And they're going to try to martyr this person as if, he was saving the world or some bullshit. So I always say this, best quote, I didn't make it up, but we say it all the time. If you wouldn't go somewhere without a gun, don't go there with a gun. So like, oh my God, I'm going down to the protest. I'm not going to go there without a weapon. Don't go there with one. Don't go to a high stress, high risk environment. So let's get back to chemistry. So what happens? How many of you have ever done like a chemistry class? I guess organic or general chem, and you're mixing something. So you put two different things, solutes, in a beaker. What do? You guys know how you have to heat up the water. You heat up the flask. The little metal stirrers. You have the one, it spins at the bottom so it mixes it, right? And you might, you're doing a lab. You're doing some lab work. So you mix X with this and the solute and you put it on the mixer. I forget what you call it. And the little metal spins at the bottom and just kind of like, you gently warm the flask and maybe in half an hour, everything is mixed, right? Because it's gently warming and it's gently heating and the solute mixes into the solvent over time, not right away. And you guys know this, if you put, let's say, creatine in cold water, it's not going to mix well. So by the way, put it in warm water, room temperature or warm, and it'll absorb better, right? Or you put, sometimes you heat liquids and you can super saturate a liquid, but if you put in too much salt or too much creatine, eventually you're going to have some sediment at the bottom because there's too much solute and it's not going to absorb well. Okay. So what you're doing is you are, and this is why when you're trying to get things to react or to move or to interact, you add heat to the solution. You add heat to the environment, which speeds up the movement of molecules so they bump into each other more and they react. So you move the molecules, the atoms are bouncing around and hitting and they're reacting and electrons are flying off, and you add heat and energy to a system and then you get more interaction between the molecules. So if you have ICE voted for by the majority of the population to get rid of criminals, and it's totally fine for ICE to be like, where are your papers? We want to know every single last fucking person that's in this country illegally. And if you are legal, you have nothing to worry about. Zero. Nothing to worry about. So what we're finding out is how many fucking people. We know there's 20, 30, 40 plus million people that are illegal. Get them all out. Every single one. That's it. I don't care how long you've been here. I don't care. If you did not come into this country legally and you're suckling off the country, you're out. Come back in legally, do it right. You should have done it the first time. You know you're illegal. That's why you're hiding. So stop lying about it. I'm not in Miami, but I know. For 20 fucking years I've been down here. You know how many people that are illegal down here in Florida? Or have been? I don't know where they are now, but this is well known because I used to work in the restaurant. I used to be a bartender and all this stuff. And in those kinds of jobs, you have a lot of people that are, they were bussing tables like they were not legal. And I know this because you would have people that would not come to work one day. Why? Because immigration was, quote, around. So there's a whole network. They're on WhatsApp. They're on text messages. Hey, don't go out anywhere. Don't go out anywhere. They arrested, Juan or Pedro or whatever at the local, and they know, and they stay inside and they don't go out because there's a risk, because ICE is in the area. So this has always been a thing. And if you're hiding, you're doing something wrong. Like they know, trust me, they all fucking know. Like they all know, all of them. They're not retarded. They're just not from here. And I don't blame people for wanting to have a better life. Wouldn't you? And this country is great, which is why everyone wants to fucking come here. But that doesn't excuse the behavior. So consequences. Where was I going with this? What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So when you have all these molecules and you add a bunch of protesters, quote unquote protesters, these are not protesters. It is an insurrection. These are agitators. They're there to interfere. Protesters aren't there to interfere. If you're protesting, you're there to be like, you can go, blow your whistle. I don't like this. Fine. You're getting in the way. That's their whole goal. Their whole goal is to interfere. So it's not protesting. The left and the libtard media is going to keep on saying it's not that. They're trying to interfere. They're trying to kill ICE officers. They're trying to actually take people down. They're harassing. They're violent. This is not protesting. So when you add all these people, okay, let's say you have a raid going down. Okay, fine. They go in there. They get the people out. No problem. No one's there. No problem. No whistles. No screaming. Okay, the job is done. We voted for it. Problem solved. Right? You add 1,000 people around. Guess what? You got 1,000 variables. And many more, right? You have 1,000 variables. Then they're all running around and they're getting in the way, and then they're getting distracted and they have to pepper spray and they're getting attacked. Like they have to protect themselves. You are they're making it worse on purpose. So they're like this event, the Alex or whatever his name is, that's the point. They want that to happen. That's why they're all there. Now, oh my God, they're going to act like, oh my God, it's horrible. That's what they've been told to do. They weren't told you're going to go there and die. But the people orchestrating this, they want the chaos. They act like they're upset about it. They're not. It just gives them an excuse to get angry and be more violent. So it's not, that's the whole point. So when you add all these other chemicals, you add all these other molecules, you're going to get more collisions. It's the same thing with the experimental gene therapy. You give 100 people the mRNA vaccine, maybe no one has an issue. No one has a blood clot. No one drops dead. You give 5 billion people, yeah, you're going to have athletes all over the country and all over the world dropping dead from all these problems because that 0.0000001% becomes 10 million people really quickly. So you add all these agitators, all these other variables, and yeah, you're going to have problems. These are not protesters. These are actually paid agitators. This is organized, and that's the goal. The goal is to get this result. Why do you think it's amped up? The whole goal is to get people killed and create these issues. That way they can take a picture. Look, he's dead. What about all the stuff leading up to it? What about the simple fact that, okay, he was legally carrying? Not really, because he didn't have his ID on him. Okay, so maybe it was a tragedy. But what would have happened if he wasn't there? He'd be alive. Guess what? I've never been shot by ICE or a police officer. You know why? Because I'm not retarded. I don't show up to places where I am not welcome. I don't try to interfere with armed law enforcement. I don't try to interfere with law enforcement operations, especially when they're armed. And guess what? They're going after criminals. Primarily, they're going after criminals, rapists, murderers, people that are violent. So guess what? They should be armed. They're already at a heightened level. Okay. Don't get involved. Don't go. If there's a SWAT team, let's say someone has his family hostage or someone breaks into someone's house down the street and I see, and it's happened before, not like the hostage situation, but a lot of you guys, you've had this, right? How many of you have wherever you live, you see a lot of lights out your window, right? And someone down the street has a bunch of, there's like 5 cop cars or whatever. Maybe someone had a heart attack and or maybe someone was called for like a domestic disturbance, or there's a party. There's a lot of cops, and you look out your window like, oh shit. You don't run down and get in the middle of it. Maybe you walk out your street and you see like, oh shit, there's stuff going on, and you go back in your fucking house, right? If I see 10 cop cars drive down the street and I see officers and stuff getting out with AR-15s and like SWAT trucks, I'm not going down the street. I'm not going down there, jumping in their face, trying to, I'm staying as far the fuck away as possible. And I'm certainly not going over there armed. Okay. So if you're going there, and I'm not saying that he should have been shot. I'm not saying that it's turned out well. It's like, how can we not, like, as a society, we can't have a fucking conversation about the obvious nature of don't go anywhere near that. Don't go. It's like the number one way, the only way you know that you're not going to get pregnant is don't have sex, right? Abstinence is the only 100% certain birth control. Don't put a penis in your vagina. All right? That's the number one way to not get pregnant. No immaculate, you're just not going to get pregnant. Not going to happen. So let's say you had your ID. You have your concealed carry. Cool. That doesn't absolve you of consequences from going and getting in the middle of shit. Don't go. I'm going to record. Why? If you're a reporter and you're actually a reporter and you're going and reporting, reporters are not retarded. They know they're going into the midst of it. That's what they do. And some people, they get a thrill. They like to be there and get all the information. Okay, we need people like that. But there's a risk. They get beat up all the time. They might get shot. They might get injured. They might even get killed because you're going into the middle of it. Antifa and the left have always assaulted journalists because they want to control the narrative. They don't want journalists and people like Andy No and all these other people. They've gotten beat up. They've gotten assaulted. They've gotten hunted down because they actually get objectively what's happening. What the left does is they cause and they sow the chaos. They get what they want and they clip the video and only show the end. They only show when he gets shot. They don't show the first 10 minutes. Or, the George Floyd bullshit. They don't show all the details. They don't show that he was, high on drugs. That he was using, counterfeit money, that he was clamoring and yelling and screaming to be put on the ground. He asked for all this stuff. They don't talk about enough how, what's his name? Derek Chauvin was using actual law enforcement techniques that were by the book in order to keep him on the ground, that he wasn't on his neck, he was on his upper back, all these different things. Okay. That doesn't matter. It's just the result. It's the optics. It's what the story, is actually told. So the right and Republicans, or people with common sense, care about what's actually happening. The left only cares about what they can say and what they can manipulate and how they can leverage it. So they want the chaos. This is the goal. So the chaos is the goal. The revolution is the goal. So don't get it twisted. It's always about, if it's not this, it's something else. And it's going to be something else. That's it. They want the chaos. That's why. And again, the chaos, the molecules interacting, that's why you're sending. And if you send 1,000, you're going to have a lot more molecules interacting. You send 10,000 people, you're going to have 10 times the amount of interactions. Okay. So the more people that get involved with this, the more accidents and the more issues like this are going to happen. Don't go. Don't go. Hey, we're going to a basketball game tonight. There's going to be a riot. You want to go? Nah. If you don't want to see a basketball game, don't go to a basketball game. Like, if you know the basketball game is going to be a riot, don't go to the basketball game. If I know that there's an active law enforcement, SWAT team's going in, let's go fucking interfere, you're probably going to get shot. And then what? We're supposed to feel bad that you went there and you went to a high risk situation? It's the same reason why if someone goes to a baseball game, and I'm just going to be done with this rant in a second. If you go to a baseball game and let's say, and it's happened before, it's tragic. Now they have nets and stuff. Let's say someone hits a foul ball and it hits a young girl, right? And she has to go, it's a tragedy. Let's say it kills someone in the crowd. That's a fucking tragedy. If you go to a baseball game, you're enjoying a game and there's a line drive and someone dies, that's a horrible tragedy because it's not supposed to happen. Or like the rafters fall and someone dies. It's a horrible, horrible tragedy. Yeah, there's a risk, but it's so minuscule and no one expects it. It's just not the application. But if you go, let's say, to the running of the bulls, right? And you watch the video, right? They all run from the bulls and people jump on the side. And sometimes people get skewered. They get fucking hammered. And sometimes people die. If you go to the running of the bulls and someone dies, are we supposed to be like, coming together as a society like a tragedy. Oh my God, it's so sad. No, you're an idiot. You're running from bulls on a narrow street and you got killed. Yeah, you're asking for it. So there's different levels to tragedy. Not every death is a tragedy. It's just not. You know, Alex Honnold, if he climbs the face of that skyscraper and he fell, yeah, it'd be like, holy shit, that's awful. But like, what do you expect? That's a risk. And like I said before, it wasn't really that much of a risk for him because he's so elite. But if you're climbing the side of a rock face with no straps or anything, it's like, it's par for the course. Like you'd expect someone to, it's like a miracle the fact that he gets to the top. The expectation is that he's going to fall. So I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's such a tragedy. Well, what do you expect? You know, you get drunk and you get on a motorcycle and close your eyes and someone, oh, you're doing wheelies and he died. Oh my God, it's such a tragedy. He was drunk and riding a motorcycle on the highway, popping wheelies and he died. Oh no, fucking cares. You're an idiot. So it's just like that. It's just like that. What do you expect? You take extreme risk. The extreme risk is an extreme outcome. So you chose poorly. All right. Anyway, don't do stupid shit. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, long rant. But I think that's important. So again, all the issue that's happening with that shooting right now is the fact of the matter is, why were you there? Why are you getting involved? Why are you resisting? Why all these things? Oh, he stopped a woman. Oh, this. Why are you there? You're there. This is one of the negative outcomes from getting involved with this shit. All you had to do was not go, let them do their job, and they'd be gone. They'd be out. And I will say there's no coincidence. And I posted this yesterday or the day before. There's no coincidence that right after all this Somali fraud has been exposed in the same city, so Minneapolis, what the fuck is going on there? Right after all these riots, oh my God, get ICE out of here, because all the fraud was exposed. It's just a cover because everyone's a fucking lying, grifting. They're stealing millions and millions and millions. The politicians are all involved and they're trying to misdirect because they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So there's no coincidence that all the fraud gets exposed and like a week later, there's just riots. Get out of our city. Yeah, because you're stealing money from the government and you got caught. So that's it. Let's continue.
It's going to really suck for the red hats when the shoe is on the other foot and people start going door to door asking if they voted for Trump in the last round or if they still support MAGA. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that make you feel threatened?
Nope.
You think social punishment ain't a thing? You think
social punishment ain't a thing? Oh, we know. So, what are you talking about? These people have no memory of the last 10 fucking years. Social punishment? Are you fucking... Well, you are retarded. So, anyway, continue. You think social punishment isn't a thing? No, I think it's very much a thing. I just think we don't care anymore. And we have all the safeguards to... We've already done that. We've already gotten punished. Anyone that had a common sense thought in the past 10 years we've already taken our licks and we don't give a shit.
Ready to do all this again in another 40, 50 years or however long it takes them?
What?
If you guys were to use any critical thinking skills and take a look around for 2 seconds, you would realize that numbers-wise, y'all are screwed.
Incorrect. Because the overwhelming majority of the country voted for this. So this is a very small percentage. It's Minneapolis. This ain't happening everywhere. Not yet. Notice how anyone see this in Florida? Nope. Anyone see this in Texas? Nope. You know why? Because our governments allow people to do their fucking job and protect the citizens. That's right. You see none of this anywhere else. And I love how DeSantis is posting like, yeah, don't try this shit in Florida. This ain't Minneapolis, motherfuckers. Don't even try it. This is why where you live matters. Your local government, state government matters.
It wouldn't matter how much firepower y'all had.
Oh, you're waking up the wrong peeps. You're waking up the wrong peeps. Okay.
It would not matter how much you guys tried to rent. I mean, January 6th was a prime example of how crappy everything is and falling apart.
Is it though? No one had firearms. I mean, the only person that shot was the Capitol Police. So, yeah, you think January 6th, that's the whole nonsense. January 6th, an insurrection. Who tries to take over a government without a single firearm? Anyone? Anyone? You're going to try to... Anyone going unarmed to a real insurrection? Anyone? Shout out to the FBI for orchestrating that. Well done. Shout out to the feds. Holla at your boy. Yeah. That's the evidence that you need, that no one was really actually trying to. Yeah, and people that broke. I mean, if you committed a crime and you attacked people, like and they went to prison for like years. Totally fine. If you broke the law, yeah, and people, if you're just there and you're walking around and you were let in by cops, like you should not be. No, they were literally allowing people in, which was another grift. So we know that. And here's another thing, just to get back to January 6th, like it's fucking Pearl Harbor. People don't realize how big the Capitol building is. And I really do think that's a huge part of the grift, is most people have never been to DC. Most people have never been to the Capitol. Has anyone else been here? It's fucking gigantic. Just saying, it's so big. It's so big. And whenever you get like views of it, you see one side of it. It's huge. It's huge. There's so many aspects. It's such a big fucking building. It looks huge from like 20 miles away. It's huge. So you have people on different sides of the building that have no idea what's happening elsewhere. And yeah, some people got out of control and committed crimes and they paid the price for it. How many years do you need to put someone away for breaking a window? You know, no guns. There's no threat to the government. No threat whatsoever. Meemaw walking through the Capitol building with a flag because they were let in by the Capitol Police. Oh no. Oh no. All right, let's continue.
Oh, that was just a test run. Yeah, the test run looked like shit. Your leaders couldn't even cover for their own ass correctly. The way they redacted those files. Makes sense though. Y'all just love the patriarchy, and we all know how common weaponized incompetence is within patriarchy. How does it feel to know that the head orange toad basically has to be cleaned up after every about 10 minutes from just shitting himself constantly? That's not true.
What?
Look it up. I dare ya. But we all know you're not going to do that because you're too scared. You guys are chicken shits. You guys won't research anything because you guys know you're going to find answers you're not going to like.
Are you going to share any of this information? What research do we need to do? What are you talking about? The patriarchy. No kids, no man. Miserable. Miserable. Another L for feminism. So sorry to hear about your mental disorder, but no one cares. No one cares. Cool story.
Make me happy.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, also, who fucking cares about Minneapolis, really? I remember Minneapolis used to be like, ooh, remember Mighty Ducks? Charlie Conway, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Used to be like, when I was like 10, you're like, fuck yeah, Minneapolis, Minnesota, that's a boss place. All the Mighty Ducks, man. The Mighty Ducks. Everyone knows when you were younger, and Mighty Ducks are like, shit. You used to think of Minneapolis as like, fuck, that's like the home of fucking hockey, man. Crushing it. Now it's like, holy shit. And do you guys think there's any coincidence that this shit is all happening within a few blocks in Minneapolis? Why is it always Minneapolis? Why is all this shit happening in the same fucking city? It's just like Portland. It's the same fucking breeding ground for this nonsense. I think it's also just because people didn't give a shit. Like who pays attention? Like what relevance on the culture does Minneapolis actually have aside from what gets streamed online? Does that have any bearing on what happens in the rest of the country? It's like as far away as possible from any kind of civilization. And I mean it like hyperbolically, but it's like up in like the Canadian ass fuck part of the United States. So is it going to lead to a civil war? A civil war is not what people think it is. You know, it's a lot different. You don't have people, there's no Mason-Dixon line, everyone lining up with, you know, people aren't lining up with muskets and shit like that. You know, it's all done online and X, Y, and Z, but I'm very skeptical that that's spreading anywhere else because most people are going to look at that. And we're talking about the people that are maybe not plugged in. No one wants that coming to their city. No one wants that kind of garbage coming to their city. No one does. Especially liberals, like anyone that is like has any awareness of any kind of violence. No one wants that in their streets. So we're all watching this. I think most people are like, oh, they might nod and be like, oh, it's awful. They don't have all the facts and they don't want that on their doorstep. So most people are like, oh, okay, that's awful. But yeah, don't bring that shit here. I'm not going out and rioting and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But I think letting this go any longer, like Trump needs to go in, Insurrection Act, and shut that shit down, because it's putting a lot of people at risk. And that's the problem. It's not just the ICE agents. It's all these like retards that think that they're foot soldiers for some greater cause when they're just interfering with operations that are making this country better. So get the criminals out, get anyone who's breaking the law out, people that aren't supposed to be here. Why would you disagree with that? Why do you hate this country? Why do you want to be here and you don't care about the country? You just don't care. So why do we care? Why should we care? And these are people that are patriots, that care about this country, that want the best for our citizens and our children and grandchildren. Why do we care about people that hate this country? You're trying to burn it to the ground. Okay, not in favor of that. Shut it down. Shut it down. It's that simple. But I think I have a feeling, because obviously the optics are very important. I feel like they're allowing Minneapolis to essentially like hang themselves, because it looks bad. It looks really bad for Minneapolis. In my opinion, it doesn't look bad for Trump. It looks bad for, I think if you're not paying attention and you're an idiot, it looks bad for Trump. Like, oh my God, he's going in. It's the Gestapo. If you understand what's happening, you're paying any kind of attention. You look at this and like, that's fucking insane. Most people are going to look at this. I don't want this anywhere. This is bad. Shut it down. Shut it down. So we hope the best, but yeah. Minneapolis has gone a long way. Fallen a long way. Man, that real estate market, you're looking for a cheap property, Minneapolis has got to be. Minneapolis, I'd be interested. Go on Zillow, see like property prices. Who wants to buy in that area right now? Gonna go in and scoop up something on the cheap. All right, who's ready for merch? You guys ready? Let's go. Who's ready for merch? All right, merch life. You ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? Some biceps and gorillas. You guys ready for merch? Merch. Everyone, merch. Hashtag make SFGs in the comments for a chance to win today's Swole card. Drop that in the chat. Oh, look at all those poppers. Look at all those poppers. So cute. So cute. All right. New merch. Buy one, get one. 50% off.
What's in the box?
You love it. You know it. Your favorite cartoon. You got Thomas the Train. Now we got Thomas the Tren. Chew, motherfucking chew. All right. Thomas the Train, boring. Thomas the Train, epic. Got some new merch. Thomas the Tren, jacked. If you don't know what Tren is, Trenbolone. It's a very risky steroid that makes you rage like a motherfucker, and it's kind of like a running joke. It's a very hardcore bodybuilding steroid that, yeah, ain't good for you. It really fucks up the body, but it's awesome. It's still awesome to make fun of. So Mark says, oh my God, my childhood. Thomas the Tren, make some fucking gains. Love it. All right. Merch. Oh, El Tren. That's right. Tren is actually Spanish for train. So it works out well. Thomas El Tren. So we'll do a Spanish version. We'll just put Thomas El Tren. It's the same thing. All right. Easy to make a Spanish version. Thomas the Tren. Go and check it out. papaswolio.com. Love it. Thomas the Tren. Jacked as fuck. All right. Based. All right. And for all you crazy fucks out there, you've been asking for, we got some more merch. Guess what? Here we go. We got more merch.
What's in the box?
We have pet bandana collars. So there we go. We got dog merch. Dog merch. It's a good start. It's a good start to merch. It's a good start to dog merch. So, and this might even be better in the short term, because if you have, sometimes for dog merch, sometimes you have to get the right size. You have to get this. This is easy. You don't have to put it on the entire dog. You could just snap it on, boom, and then you got it. So you can swap it out. We got lots of designs and adding a lot. So just kind of getting started. We won. USA, 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 USA. All right.
You are looking rather splendid this evening.
All right. So your mom is my cardio. We'll have to have my owner goes to the fucking gym. So we got a lot of different ones. We're adding tons of designs. Go check it out. Papaswolio.com. Pet bandana collars. You asked for it. So now when you guys are saying dog merch, now you can shut up for a week. All right? Shut you up. Shut you up for a week. Maybe it'll quiet you guys for a week. Maybe. All right. We got a Swole card to give away. Then we will, we're going to have a video here first. This one's funny. I think we might have played it before. You probably saw it, but it's a good clip. We're going to play it anyway.
What's in the box?
Because it's funny. And then we'll do the card and the throwback. So this one's called Racism.
I learned that racism is passed down generationally, so it's internalized, which makes sense. I was walking home, it was late at night, and this black guy walks towards me, and instinctively, I grab my purse, even though logically, I know he's not for sale. He did steal my wallet, though.
That's a fucking classic. Funny as shit. All right. Even though I know instinctively he's not for sale, it's funny every time. Great delivery. Oh,
what
God.
the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Oh, my God. Oh, the delivery is great. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. It is Make SFGs. Let's see what we got. And we have a throwback afterwards. Drop in the chat. Make SFGs. Make SFGs. What kind of SFGs you want to make? SFGs. Scroll, 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 scroll. We got a winner. Today it is Bumble Hunter. Congratulations. Hey. All right. All right, BH. What's up, Beaches? Bumble Hunter, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3 in the subject. Mailing address in the body of the email. Fan-effing-tastic. Congratulations, Bumble Hunter, on winning today's Swole card. And then Pinky says congratulations. Rufus says congratulations. They're watching the show. All right. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let's do a throwback. You're such a good boy. Good girl. All right. Throwback time. 577.
This is a gentle reminder that male and female sexual organs are what we call homologous, which means that they are made from the same embryonic tissue.
And here we go.
And that means that a penis is a clitoris.
What are you, retarded?
It is the exact same
Down syndrome.
thing.
I know you're not retarded.
Just put
Down syndrome.
or inverted. Testes and ovaries are the exact same thing.
Down syndrome?
We are all sexless in the womb, and we just get pushed to
Guy, I miss
one side of
Norm.
the spectrum.
I miss
or
Norm.
another.
That's a pretty big deal, bro. And we just get pushed one direction. We get pushed. That's a pretty fucking big deal.
Sex is a spectrum. It is not a binary. Have a great day.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude.
I love watching the old ones. Like, it's just a slight little push in this direction. It's like, wait a bit. Kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. And what I mean by big deal, I mean like fat cock. Kinda, like penis, kind of a big deal. Okay. A little bit. Kind of a big deal. in case you just kind of pushed a little bit in that direction. You don't say. Just a little bit. It's just leaning. It's just a little bit bigger. You know, it's a clit. It's just a little bit bigger and it's a penis. It's right there. It's just right there. It's just female adjacent. You know, it's just a big clit. All right. Say it with me. Say it with me. Bio twat. 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 I am staunchly pro BT. I am all about the bio twat. I'm taking a stand. I'm taking a stand. I'm not going back. No excuses. I'm all in on bio twat. Cerny said, peace out, fam. Watch out for strangers at your door. What does that mean, Cerny? Stranger danger. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cerny. Watch out for strangers at your door. Stranger danger. Should I make a shirt? Should we just do a stranger danger shirt? Oh, that's great. What about a stranger danger shirt? Or maybe you shouldn't wear that where it's like stranger danger. Maybe that's like creepy. I don't know. That sounds funny. Would you guys wear that? Stranger danger? Bio twat. Bio twat. Bio twat. Bio twat. Bio twat. Oh yeah, stranger danger. I'm just gonna start yelling that at people. I'm waiting for the protesters, aka rioters, to start pointing at ICE and just being like, stranger danger, blowing their whistles. Can you be a bigger faggot? Can you be more of a faggot than blowing a whistle? Have you guys seen these videos? Just before we leave, I know we're here, everyone's here. Any other comments or questions while we're live? Anyone else have any statements they want to say? Anything you want to add? It's really crazy. You have grown-ass adults just standing around in freezing temperatures, just blowing whistles at people. It's really fucking crazy shit. It's really fucking crazy how insane people are. Really fucking crazy. It's mind-blowing that these are adults. So I posted this. How many of you guys have seen the movie PCU with Jeremy Piven and David Spade? You guys remember that from '94? So it's not available. It's like been banned for like 30 years. Essentially, it's not available on any streaming platform. You can't even rent it on Amazon Prime. You can't find it anywhere. You could buy it. So I haven't seen it in forever. So I bought it. I didn't even have it. I had a DVD player in my closet and it didn't work. So I tossed it. I got like a little external DVD drive from my laptop so we could watch it. Man, that movie is so on point. It's so fucking funny. And you can see why it's been restricted and banned. It literally, in 1994, trashes every aspect of Marxism and makes fun of it the entire movie. It's so accurate. And this is just, it's another bit of evidence that this is nothing new. Like this has been going on for half a century at minimum. I mean, much more than that. But this is nothing new. And this is why when it comes to the anti-diet culture and fat acceptance and body positivity, like we've been connecting the dots for 10 years. All this shit is on the same vein. It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. It's all the same victimhood politics, oppression dynamics. It's all the same. So you connect the dots and you see the patterns. It's just all the same. It's just different causes. It's Ukraine, and then it's this guy, and then it's George Floyd, and then it's patriarchy, and then it's white men, and it's all of it because it doesn't matter. It's the whole goal is just to usurp and to be oppressed. The goal is to be oppressed. The goal is to complain. The goal is the revolution. The goal is the fight. The goal is the overthrow. The goal is to be oppressed so you can overthrow the oppressor. So they always have to be oppressed. That's the goal. That's why they constantly oppress themselves. They go to these events. They go to these situations so they get pepper sprayed, so they get tear gassed, so they get shot, so they get pushed to the ground, so they get arrested, so they can be like, look at what they're doing to me. I can honestly say I don't fucking care. I don't say that because I'm a bad person. I just don't care. Don't go. If you're a family of 4 and you just went to the movies and you drive home and a drunk driver hit you and it killed your whole family, like that's horrifying. That's a horrific, just garbage fucking preventable tragedy. But if you take your family of 4 to the middle of a fucking violent riot, less of a tragedy. What the fuck are you doing? Protect your family. Like, it's avoid these situations. They're very, very avoidable. So if you go, there's a risk. If you go rock climbing without any kind of straps, there's a higher risk that you're going to die, right? If you're going up a 20-foot rock wall and you're all hooked up with like the carabiners and stuff, and you're just learning and you're doing a course and something breaks and you fall on your neck and you die, that's a tragedy because it's not supposed to happen. It's awful. It's sad. But if you're scaling the face of a fucking building and you drop, oh my God, it's awful. But it's like, oh shit. That wasn't smart. Less of a tragedy. Just saying. But don't buy into the bullshit. Don't buy into the bullshit. Don't buy into the grift that you have to care. And what I mean by caring, it's not that you want people to die. It's just that, when you're creating the situation and then complaining about the situation, like you're perpetuating this. If Minnesota and Tim Waltz and all the grifters were just like, hey, we want the safest thing for our, don't stand down, let them do their job, let them get this. Would there be any problems? Probably zero or close to it, right? Stand down, let them do their job, X, Y, and Z. Cool. They be in, they do their job, and they leave. Because I guarantee you, ICE and all these people, they don't want to be in Minnesota in freezing fucking temperatures dealing with this shit. They're going to do their job, and then they'll get the fuck out. So what's the problem? Don't create the conflict. Don't create the violence. Don't ask for it. Don't get involved. It's not for you. There's nothing to get involved with. They're just, and all the grift, they're arresting American citizens. Probably, you know why? Because they're interfering. Do you understand? That's what happens. You get in the middle of this fucking shit. I'm an American citizen. If I go and get in the middle of it, I'm going to get thrown to the ground and arrested. They're arresting American citizens. Yeah, fucking stupid, retarded ones that got involved. But then the media is going to be like, they're arresting America. Look at these American citizens in jail. That shouldn't have been there in the first place, getting fucking involved. Any questions? And again, you add a lot of chaos, right? You have a mixture and you add, and getting back to the chemistry, you have things, and you guys know this from science, you have accelerants. You have things that you might add to a mixture that accelerate the reactions, that lead to bubbling, you add more and more, right? You have a fire and you throw some kerosene on it, it's not going to go out. Capiche? You're going to get like a big old poof. So, I mean, and yeah, that's another whole point. We haven't gone down that rabbit hole, but I want to give Elizabeth a shout out on this one because absolutely correct. If you look at the numbers, Elizabeth says no one was interfering with ICE during the Obama or Biden administrations. So ICE is not new. They've been doing this for years and years and years and years. They didn't have necessarily the same kind of mandate. They didn't have the same kind of resources. Maybe they definitely didn't get the same kind of publicity. But all of a sudden now there's all these fucking problems. Why? Because they're causing the problems. ICE is doing the same job they always did. There's just more funding and more of a public mandate to do this because that's why we elected Trump, so we can get all these fucking criminals and rapists and murderers out of our country. And then after that, anyone who's illegal, like you shouldn't be here. But obviously, primarily, you're getting the people that are murdering our citizens and raping our children. So no problems, right? If you don't interfere, guess what? No problems. But if you have everyone like these fucking retarded celebrities or the governor being like, these are the Gestapo, they're Nazis, you're riling people up that are not intelligent. And of course you're organizing all these leftist rioters, and they have tons of funding from Soros and others. All these NGOs, they have a lot of funding. Where is it coming from? Well, we uncover all the Somali fraud and then all the riots start off. Oh my God, they're here. I wonder why they're there on the same streets that you had tens and tens of millions of dollars of fraud. Probably because they're all illegal and they're grifting off the government. You know, you go in your garden and you lift up if you have like stone, you know, if you have pavers. I mean, a lot of you are in snow, but you know, in the summer, you have pavers, right? You have a walkway. You lift up one of those rocks and you see all the bugs scatter. It's the same thing. You start lifting up all these things like, holy shit, there's so many bugs under here. Yeah. And they're scattering. And now it's a misdirection. They're pretending like ICE is out there doing something bad. It's like we just uncovered massive fraud. So obviously it's a misdirection and they're covering up for all the issues. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence, the same location. Every fucking 4 years, it's Minnesota or it's Portland. It's the same fucking area and the same people and the same shit with the same signs, the same funding, the same bricks, the same fucking organization, the same signal chats and Telegram and fucking rape whistles and all this crap. It's the same garbage. It's the same shit. Copy, paste, repeat. So how often is the public going to be duped by this? I don't know. And I'm trying to be optimistic because most people are not on X. You're not getting news if you're not on X. And it's just unfortunate because you think the mainstream media would have gotten and understood why they were dying. But I guess they didn't get the memo in 2020 or 2024. So the only thing I can hope for now is because in 2024, because Trump overwhelmingly won, I can only hope that this is just, obviously they're like the last death rattle where they're like, everyone disagrees. ICE is so bad. And then in the midterms, everyone's gonna be like, no, we don't want this fucking shit. And it goes even more red. I don't think it will happen, but I really hope it does. Because how can people want to go back to all the trans shit? Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get more of that trans bullshit. You're going to get more, all the stuff that comes with Marxism, you're getting if you elect Democrats. So it's coming back. That will come back. They've kind of eased off on that right now. Not really. We're still seeing it everywhere, but you know, that's going to all come back if you go the other direction. So I don't see how people that already voted for Trump because of all this shit are going to just be like, nah, we want all the other crap from 2020. I don't think people want to go back to that, but I don't know. I have less and less faith in 2024 was pretty good. It was pretty good for like, oh, I think people are paying attention, but people generally do not pay as much attention in the midterms, which is a problem. You know, and then that's the biggest issue is that you have overwhelmingly people paying way too much to the federal government and not enough to their state government. And that's why people vote for Trump and then elect these fucking retards locally. And then they have problems in their state. See what happens when you elect someone like Tim Walz? Doesn't matter if Trump is president. You have a fucking disaster zone. So your local elections are so much more important. And why does Texas? I mean, Texas has problems in Florida. Nothing's perfect. But why is Florida fucking crushing it? Why is it awesome down here? We don't have any of these fucking issues. You don't see the riots. You don't see people fighting because we don't put up with that shit. You're seeing everywhere that there aren't these problems. That's what actual leadership looks like. That's what people that are not retarded. That's what happens. And why is it always happening in this area? Again, the Somali fraud. You had George Floyd. You have all this. It's not so much the issue because those weren't even issues. The George Floyd thing, that's a negative side effect of a drug addict criminal high on drugs. And it's an unfortunate situation and it got blown way out of proportion. Okay. Same thing with this. You don't fuck around, do stupid shit, be a piece of shit. You're not going to have negative problems, but you have problems. They're trying to make it out like it's happening to you. They're coming after you. It's all this. No, it's not. It's two fucking people. Like this guy was where he shouldn't have been. Why are you there? Forget the Second Amendment. Why are you there? Forget with a gun. Why are you in the middle of it? Why are you standing in the street? What the fuck are you doing there? He was just recording. It's his right. You have a right to do a lot of things. Doesn't mean that you don't have consequences as a result of putting yourself in harm's way. It just doesn't make any sense. How can you not understand what's happening? How can you not see that for what it is? Okay, he pulled the gun out. He wasn't holding a gun. That was his cell phone. That was his this. I'm not saying it was a good shoot, but guess what? If he wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened. Why are you in the middle of it? And again, it could have been avoided. How? By not going there. Let them do their job. If you don't jump off a building, you're not going to die from jumping off a building. Pretty easy. If you don't scale a skyscraper with no supports, you're not going to die by falling off a skyscraper by climbing it with no supports. But then, of course, right? Hey, if I don't go, maybe I want to go for a run. Well, if I don't go for a run, I definitely won't get hit by a car. The risk isn't as high if I jog down. If I go running on the turnpike, the risk is a lot higher to get hit by a car than if I'm running on a side street. So risk reward doesn't mean don't do anything. It just means, hey, maybe use some little common sensey there. Okay, so good rant, good talk. I mean, this is just, I don't know. Andis on YouTube. Papa Swolio, they're going to keep attacking agents because they want to provoke a violent reaction. That way they can say, you see, Trump is a dictator and ICE is the Gestapo. Correct. Yeah, correct. That's why everything is like hashtag ICE Gestapo. Anything that they can do to try to make it like, oh, Trump is Hitler. Well, ICE Gestapo. How about immigration and customs enforcement? Getting rid of people that aren't here legally, like their job. Imagine what would happen if no one showed up. ICE would go in, get the people, and they'd leave. But because you are instigating and causing problems, you're going to have, if you're attacking officers, guess what? They're going to have to put you down or arrest you, or sometimes shit like this happens. So don't do that. But the whole point is that they want it to happen. That's the goal. And again, they got their headlines. They got their this, and look at how bad he is. Oh my God. You caused the problem, and then you're complaining about the problem. Don't punch yourself in the face and then come to me complaining about how you have bruising all over your face. It's retarded. It's retarded. I mean, I don't care. I do not care. After everything you've done to people with triple digit IQs and good, hardworking people, you fucked them in the ass for decades, let alone the last 10 years. No, you don't have to care. And don't let anyone tell you that you have to care. I hate this. I hate this virtue signaling. You're a bad person if I don't give a shit. Moment of silence for what? For someone who made a terrible choice? Even if it's not a good outcome? It's like, they didn't give a shit when Charlie Kirk got shot through the fucking neck. And that wasn't like, ooh, it was an accident. He was where he shouldn't be. He was talking to college students and got fucking executed. So fuck you. Literally, fuck you. I don't care. I don't care. Keep going. Do what you need to do. And, it's high time that all that rioting gets shut down because it makes the administration look weak. But maybe, there's always things that we don't know about behind the scenes. Because once you start doing things like the Insurrection Act of, I believe, is 1807, then you really go down the hole of like, they're going to be like, oh my God, he's invading. It's military law. He's taking over. So it might be something where, I'm going to be hyperbolic, or the statement, the phrasing that maybe Trump is just allowing Minneapolis to like hang itself, so to speak, like it's really bad there. Let them handle it. Like, cause a lot of times when you keep on going, it just makes it look worse and worse. So it might be a situation where he doesn't have to intervene per se, because it's probably high time, but you know what I mean? It's an example. The same thing that happened before with George Floyd. Like, no one was like, ooh, really jealous that doesn't happen here. It's like, most people in other areas are like, yeah, they're insane up there. Yeah, we're not bringing that shit here. So just saying. We'll see how it plays out. But at least Minneapolis is as far from like civilization as possible, theoretically. So hopefully it doesn't spill over, but it's got to be limited to that location. And I don't think it's a mistake or it's any kind of, I think what happens is with these issues, we're realizing just that Minneapolis is a beehive. It got stepped in. Social media exposed a lot of shit and exposed all the fraud and the funding and the grifting and the manipulation and the communism and Marxism and all the crap. And this is just one of those pimples that just kind of popped. And you're like, oh shit, we didn't even realize Minneapolis was such a shit heap for this crap. But apparently it is. Apparently it is. And if you're seeing this in the winter, wait till the summer. Midterm season, wait till fucking May, June. It's about to get absolutely spicy, to say the least. So cover those nips, stay warm, stay swole, go to the fucking gym, enjoy those new releases. We got dog merch. We got dog and pet bandanas. We got Thomas the Tren. We got a lot of great shit. So go enjoy all that. Papasolio.com. Oops. Papasolio.com. Go enjoy all this. We stayed a little bit longer, but that's what she said. Go enjoy. And we'll see you tomorrow for 3554. Peace McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stocks crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I gift rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping.